What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Welcome back to the Cali Veil channel. The weekend is just ending with some exciting events. But some strange news as well. As we all know, the homeless problem in California is getting bigger. And Sacramento will never be like the Bay Area. People in the Bay Area make way more money than people that live in the Sacramento area, which means there's more dead malls, like the Sunrise Mall in Citrus Heights. If you want a better mall or shopping experience, it's best just to head up the highway to Roseville, the Stonestown Galleria. They're not going to let that mall go down because people in that region tend to have and make more money. And it's the same thing if you drive 2 hours down the 680 to San Jose area, the Silicon Valley. They're not going to let those malls fail either. They just revamped the Valley Fair Mall in Santa Clara, and they're also about to add on to the Great Mall in Milpitas. If you know, you know. So let's tune into what's going on at the Sunrise Mall.
Let's take you to Citrus Heights now. The struggling Sunrise Mall now battling a homeless mess. Tonight, a new report uncovers what's happening inside some of the shops that have long closed down.
Your reporter Ashley Sharp in Sacramento, live for us tonight, Sacramento County. Ashley, what does this mean for the mall?
Well, we know that for the mall's owners, this means that code violation fines are up to nearly $500,000.
Did she say $500,000? That's a decent house in the Sacramento area.
Now, the city tells me that's after the ownership group has already paid about $8,000 in fines. Last month, an inspection warrant was served here at the mall, and now they're facing a notice to abate, meaning that they must address these violations that the warrant uncovered. It's no secret Sunrise Mall in Citrus Heights doesn't look like it used to. With many businesses closed up, it's left the stores still open, reminding the community we're still here.
We do rely on the community to support us, and we need people to understand that the mall is open. We need people to understand that it is safe to come in and that we are still in here trying to survive. And we don't know what the next thing is. We don't know when the mall is closing, if it's closing.
Perfumes.
Like I said, Citrus Heights is not it's a suburb of Sacramento, but it's not highly affluent like it is in Santa Clara or San Jose, those areas. There's a lot more money in those areas versus here. That's why people moved out to this area to begin with, because it's cheaper than Bay Area prices. But then don't expect places like the local shopping malls and everything to be up par.
Lux owner Kevin Cadena tells CBS 13, with the mall's fate uncertain, it was another gut punch to see what violations a city report uncovered. Last month, city...
Definitely some nostalgia. Look at all that. You could tell this mall was built somewhere between the late 70s and early 1980s. Just like most of the malls that are currently functioning now. They're not really building those large shopping malls like that anymore. What they're doing now is they're building luxury apartments, high rises, and then they're putting stores on the bottom to accommodate for what malls used to be. And if you like nostalgia just as much as I do, check out Dark Exploration Films and Sunbright Films. Those guys do an excellent job on walking through abandoned malls and mansions, and they're pretty bold for what they do. But go ahead and check those guys out.
Code enforcement, health officials, local police, and the fire department for 3 days served an inspection warrant at the mall to document code violations. The report says it stems from many complaints from the community and proactive inspections from code enforcement and lack of responsive corrective measures from the ownership of the properties. They found dozens of plumbing and electrical violations, including in the food court, water damage and moldy ceilings, destroyed walls in the old Macy's.
Disgusting. And you have this open to the public? I mean, what do you expect? Slumlords.
And even evidence that homeless people were living in the vacant mall properties. These photos from the closed movie theater and the Elephant Bar, where the report says it's evident an encampment was present. Fire damage and drug paraphernalia was also found.
You know what this reminds me of? I used to do security at a hospital, and it's like they opened a new side of the hospital and closed the old building of the hospital. So the original hospital was pretty much next to the new one. The new hospital was built onto the old building. So you could still access the old part that was closed off. It was a 7-story vacant tower, right? But from the bottom level all the way up to the 7th floor, the 7th floor had homeless people living up on it. They never turned the electricity or the plumbing off in that building until they tore it down. But one of the engineers, one day, the fire alarm, somebody had pulled the fire alarm up there in the building, and they were trying to locate the source of where, what was going on. So about time the engineers went and the fire department went up to the 7th floor, they discovered a few homeless people living up there. So even though the elevators are closed off in the building and the stairwells, when you take the stairs all the way up, there's a cross area where you could climb over and get into the building still. So some homeless person had did that. It's pretty interesting.
A couple years ago, definitely in the movie theater, I did walk in there and you could tell it's being lived in. But after that, I mean, like I said, I just never see anybody coming in and out. I don't see anybody hanging out. I don't see them walking around the mall, nothing like that.
Citrus Heights City Manager Ash Feeney said in a statement, regardless of occupancy or ownership status, we are committed to holding property owners accountable and protecting the community's quality of life. And as the sun sets on Sunrise Mall, its owners are on notice that they must fix these violations. Now,
why does the outside look better than the inside?
facing nearly $500,000 in fines from the city.
And the majority ownership group is trying to sell the mall property. We did reach out to them today, and we have not yet heard back. You might remember back in March, we told you that the Citrus Heights City Council shut down a proposal to buy the property and redevelop the mall site here. The city said that it did not align with their established Sunrise Tomorrow plan. So really, it's just kind of back to the drawing board, Marley and Tony, as to what's going to happen for the mall and what the future holds.
Take you to Citrus Heights now.
Well, it don't seem like there's really a lot of future for the place, besides tearing it down and building more of those stupid luxury apartments that I always talk about. Mushrooms. My grandma always called them mushrooms. But it's either they tear it down and build luxury apartments, or they just turn it into a homeless shelter, because these people need somewhere to go. So it's expensive to tear down these large buildings. Nobody wants to pay for it. It's just like the mall that was in Milwaukee that was recently torn down from years of complaints. I believe it was the Northridge Mall, which had a twin Southridge right across the expressway. But anyway, two large malls. One, the Northridge Mall closed down. I mean, check it out. There's videos all over YouTube about the Northridge Mall in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But it was pretty interesting though. It was built in 1972. It got revamped in 1988, and then it finally shut its doors in just 2003. It just lost all hope because it was something about the area that it was in. It wasn't convenient, so a lot of people had stopped coming. But then they kept their twin Southridge open. It's an interesting story. Check it out. And I got to get going on the road. I got some things, errands to run, some car shows to go to. If you're not following me on Instagram, follow me. I'm a car enthusiast. And it's time for Wakefest, Bay Area edition. Take care.